Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Let me share my screen real quick. So let's dig into a few search-related things. One of the things our customers ask about, like to check how many records were returned. And if your search returns exactly one record, they want to proceed to view or edit page of that record. So just save in one click. It's like Google's I feel lucky button, right? Takes you to the best match. Okay, so that's a search page. That's a list page. And if we search for something, it just shows us all the records returned. But if we search for something that is specific, that only returns a single record, then it takes you directly to the view page of that record. So let me show you how that was implemented. That's our customers table, and there is event here. So first of all, we get a hold of search object. And if search was started, then we execute the rest of our code. Why are we doing this? Is that because if we remove this part and we try to implement this logic every time, not when we perform the search, then if I want to return back to the list page from here, it will take me to that view page again. I will show you how it works. That's the idea. So we're just making sure that the actual search was executed, and then we check this variable from page object. So I must warn you, this is not a documented variable, but you can use it for now. And we will add a function that will just like return a count of records. For now, it is safe to use it. There are other options. This one is just the easiest, and once we have like a dedicated API function for this kind of thing, it will be better to use that function. But for now, you can use this one. I'm only saying this because you will not be able to find it in the manual. It was suggested by some people in forums, and it's most likely it's going to work, just not documented. So if the number of records that is returned is exactly one, then we craft the URL of the view page of that record. So let me show you this function in the manual, because there is a little trick here. This is a function that is available in both PHPRunner and ASP.NET, obviously. And what it does, it constructs the proper URL of any page. It can be list page, add page, edit page, view page of any record, edit page, etc. So parameters are table name, okay, page type, an array with the key values, and any additional parameters like page name. If you have created a few pages of the same type in the page designer, you can specify which one you want to be opened here. So that's it. So that's an example of how it works. And this kind of code returns this kind of URL, create this kind of URL. So it makes sense, right? So the trick is that I only specify table name and the page type. I do not pass ID of the record. So what is this and how it works? Let me show you an example. So if you do not do this, it's also sort of not 100% documented functionality, but bear with me. It's also something that just not documented, but probably it helps you to understand how it works. So take a look at this products page, right? If you mouse over view record link, it says products view.php in the left bottom corner, right? Edit ID 2, edit ID 8, edit ID 9, etc. So what happens if we just do open the view page without passing any parameters, any IDs? It will show you the first record from the list page. Okay, product name, champ, back to list. It is same with the edit page. If you do not specify any parameters here, same thing, right? It takes us straight to that first record. And if you run a search for something, I don't know, tofu, we have 2 tofu records here. And then if we proceed to the view page now, like this, it will show us the first record with product ID 14. Okay, that is right. So it's a little trick. It is safe to use it this way if it saves you a little bit of the time. So if you wanted to do it properly, we would need to execute SQL query manually. And as you remember, we can probably get SQL query here in this event, save it in a session variable, then execute it in this event, get a hold of the ID of that record that it returns, and do the same thing. It just it's a shortcut, and for this kind of task, it's just perfect. So now we perform the redirect, and we do exit, so no code is executed after redirect. So sometimes it's helpful to do it this way. Okay. Obviously, the same thing is going to be in ASP.NET. All the same functions are available there. Page object, if you use C#, it's going to be have syntax like this. Actually, this is what I found in forums as well. That's the same thing, right? It just we're going to use syntax that is PHP based. Okay. So let me show you just real quick, right? If we do not check for like if the search was actually executed, so we need to tell if we are in a search mode or if we are in a regular mode, right? If we remove that search part, and let me just show you that it's going to happen. Customers. Let's go back to customers table right here, and we search for something like this. It returns a single record. The redirect still work, but this is what happens when we click back to list. You see, we are going, so it takes us to the list page and immediately back to the view page. Why is that happening? It's because we didn't check for the search condition. We only checking if number of rows from SQL equals 1, which it is, and this code gets executed again. And we don't want it to be executed every time. We only want to this logic to be applied when we actually run a search. Otherwise, we are never going to see our list page again. I hope it makes sense. So and so just in case, makePageLink, it's right here, and the search started. Search started, it's a function of the search API, and you can see it right here.